Hey, seventh grade, Miss Lunsford here, and you made it. It's June. We're here at the end of the school year. I'm here to introduce to you our final lesson sequence for the year, and it's on the United Nations. You may notice that it says weeks of June 1 through June 12th. This lesson sequence will take us through the end of the year. So let's get to it. Your objectives for this final sequence are to analyze how globalization today has led to better living conditions for some. However, inequality among nations continues to exist. We're also going to continue with an objective we've been looking at all marking period, which is to evaluate the economic costs and benefits of globalization and determine to what extent the benefits of globalization outweigh the costs. We have been examining this objective all marking period as we looked at Europe and the age of exploration and colonization. We looked at costs and benefits of the Columbian Exchange and the transatlantic slave trade. But now we're going to be taking globalization into 2020, and we're going to examine it through the lens of the United Nations. So let's see how we're going to get there. This week, we're going to introduce to you all the United Nations, what they are. We would like you to explore global issues that face our community, our country, and the world. Once we have a good sense of what those issues are, we're going to introduce the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs. And finally, we're going to ask that each student research one of the UN's SDGs, and that research is going to be due on June 5th. Next week, you're going to create and present a final project based on your SDG research, and you will hear more about that later this week. So let's get into it. For your warm-up, we're going to ask that you watch these videos to learn about what the UN is. Okay, you just click on each of these images to link to a video to learn about the United Nations. After that, we're going to ask you to type, what is the purpose of the United Nations? And then highlight your response to these two multiple choice questions so that we know you have a good sense of what the mission of the United Nations is. We'd then like you to think, what are the biggest problems faced by people in our community, in our nation, and our world? I think that today, more than ever, these are really big questions, and they're questions I think you all probably have really interesting ideas about, and we want to hear what those ideas are. So we're going to have you share out what you think using a Padlet. When you go to the next screen, you will see your teacher's name on this slide. You're going to click your teacher's name, and it will bring up a Padlet. It looks like this. In one of these three columns, you are going to add a post, okay? You can add a problem that is faced by our community, that's Tacoma Park or Silver Spring, a problem you think our nation faces, or a problem in our world. And to add your idea, you just click on the plus button here, and you can type your response. Then, we want you to comment or like two other problems or issues that you agree are important. So you can see I've added one here for you. It says hunger. Make sure people have enough food to eat. If you wanted to, you could like my post by clicking the heart, or you can write a comment. Those are your options. Please make sure you like or comment on two other posts after posting your own example. So then let's talk about what sustainable development means and we're going to get into the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals. So sustainable development is defined as a smarter use of natural resources, with a fair distribution of the resources to ensure a better place for everyone without destroying the environment and leaving a livable space for future generations. Sounds like a pretty good goal. To learn more about the SDGs, there are two videos here that are going to help you learn what the UN's possible solution to global problems today and in the future are. So you can click here to watch a video that teaches you what sustainable development means. And here is another video that talks to you about the UN's Sustainable Development Goals. So if you're unsure what we mean by Sustainable Development Goals, these are the videos that are going to help you to understand that. They help you understand what the goals are, who they help, and why we need them. Based on these two videos, we'd like you to answer these two questions to make sure that you understand what those Sustainable Development Goals are and who they will help. This will create the foundation for you to understand the next part of this week's lesson, which is to select a goal and research it. Good luck, students. We'll see you at Zoom on Wednesday and Thursday of this week.